Upon arrival to New Delhi, you might experience the sensory overload. Indian cities are well known for their traffic, chaotic streets. Most roads are crowded by cars, tuk-tuks, bicycles, pedestrians, horse-drawn carts, dogs, and in some places a cow, camel, or elephant crossing oncoming traffic. Rules seem to go out the window in India. Lanes hardly exist, traffic lights are a suggestion, and it's truly every man for himself. If there is something that will give you a cultural shock, it is the traffic and transportation in India. Because of the population volume in the city, traffic jam is inevitable. It may seem disorderly and dangerous when you see taxis and buses passing through people, but don't worry, the residents are used to it. A 2-lane road in India becomes a 6-lane, not to mention the animals roaming around. Interestingly, some taxis don't have safety belts or even wing mirrors. The drivers here use gestures to communicate, and with all that traffic, you can just imagine the amount of cars, trucks, and tuk-tuks honking their horns. But it's not even just the traffic. Drivers have just become so accustomed to honking that sometimes they will just honk for no damn reason. It doesn't matter the time of day, it's loud in India, especially in the cities. Honking, as a part of it, is a big portion of the chaos and culture shock in India. The driver's licenses are also unique. It shows the actual state where the car is registered and the street address. Most people in India cannot afford a car or parking, and that is the reason they use public transportation or ride bikes. India is the most populous country in the world, with over 1.46 billion people. India is crowded from the airport to the market and on the roads. This is also something to keep in mind when planning your visits to tourist attractions, as it can take hours to simply enter certain places, especially those that have special events happening. It's great to go super early in the morning for sunrise. This is when most places open, and the only time you'll have a bit of peace and personal space. One of the most heartwarming aspects of Indian culture is its hospitality. Most Indian street guests with a lot of care. As a visitor, wearing clothes that cover your shoulders and knees and removing shoes at the door are signs of respect. As a foreigner, you may get a lot of attention from strangers in places where there are a few non-Indians. First-time visitors may feel overwhelmed by the stares and requests for selfies in these situations. The concept of personal space is different in India than it is in the United States, so the closeness of others can at times feel somewhat overwhelming. At tourist destinations such as markets, be ready for enthusiastic vendors who come up to you and try to sell you everything they can. One of the harder aspects of travel in India is witnessing extreme poverty. Child beggars and makeshift homes are not uncommon sights. Balancing empathy with practicality is a challenge many travelers face. Slums are found in every country, but they're usually isolated, and you might not know that they even exist. In India, it is very astonishing. The wealthy and the poor all live in the proximity. Skyscrapers, concrete buildings, and slums all stand together. I think it is because of the high population in India. Many children and adults can be seen in the city of India. You may be confused seeing so many of them on the road, and some may even rush to you the moment they see you with a backpack. If you give one a coin, most of them will follow you. The contrasts in India are extreme. One moment you could be walking around gorgeous gardens, and the next you could find yourself in one of the poorest neighborhoods in the world. It's truly eye-opening visiting India, because you will see two different sides of the coin, often side by side. The other shocking thing was the pollution in India. It is the order of the day. From the noise in the streets, air pollution caused by smoke, among many others. As you walk through the streets, you may find it weird to see people peeing everywhere without worrying. This is because there are not enough public restrooms to accommodate the people, and therefore it is difficult for them just to hold on until they reach their homes. With an extremely high population comes all types of problems. One of them, unfortunately, is trash. While some places are pristine in India, many are not. People simply throwing their trash right on the ground. It is one of the cultural surprises you will get while visiting India. Finding huge piles of waste is not a big deal in India. Every street has litter along the road, and others are lit on fire. This begins terrible odor in the cities, and it can be very annoying at times. The guide told us that the government is putting out trash cans for people, but they get stolen, so the trash is still thrown on the streets. When we were driving by the country roads, we saw a lot of big brown discs laying in piles. We asked and we were told that it is hardened cow manure that they use instead of wood to heat up their homes. If you're going to India, make sure to bring your own tissues and toilet paper and the hand sanitizer. I put a video together about what items to bring with you, what to pack to India, so check it out. I will leave the link to my video in the description below. A lot of places in India only have pit toilets, and the bathrooms in general often lack hygiene like toilet paper and soap. With the pit toilets, you have to squat down and do your business in a hole in the ground. Not only were pit toilets pretty common, but we also saw urinals right in the middle of the streets. Watching men pee in public areas was a bit of culture shock in India that we were not expecting, but apparently it's pretty common in some places. India is such a massive country, so it's better to plan your trip through a travel agency. The one that we used was Gate 1 Travel, and they planned a great trip for us. We visited a very small portion of the north of India, the Golden Triangle, and right now you're seeing the pink city of Jaipur. There are a lot of animals roaming the streets in India. Cows are sacred, so you will notice that they will end up walking around even in the middle of cities without being bothered. Visitors who are not used to seeing animals wandering around urban areas may be surprised to see that cows are freely roaming. In certain parts of India, it is prohibited to eat beef, so you can even be incarcerated for 3 years in jail if they catch you cook or eat beef. The only meats that they really eat would be chicken or goat, and most population is vegetarian. Many Indian foods might be the same, but the ingredients and taste might differ. They love their meal with a lot of spices like hot chili, so most of the dishes you try will be pretty spicy. If you want to try Indian street food, you should try the tour with a local. That way you can be sure you're trying high-quality street food that won't get you sick. Many of those street vendors reuse their oil over 100 times because they don't have resources or money to buy new oil, so some of the foods can make you really sick. There's a lot of unhygienic behavior. Whether it was cooking with water taken from the dirty river or using their bare hands to smear a paste onto bread, the street food stalls in India are something you will really need to pick and choose between carefully. Eating and cooking with your hands rather than utensils is customary in many parts of India. Eating with your hands is considered hygienic in Indian culture as long as you wash your hands before and after the meal. Plus, it adds to the sensory experience of enjoying traditional Indian cuisine. Also, try to be very careful with bottled water and only drink bottled water because the tap water is full of bacteria and it needs to be filtered. Most hotels will give you bottled water in the room, so you will have plenty of water to make tea or coffee. And also make sure that the seal is not broken. So if you're drinking water in the restaurant or anywhere on the road, check your water bottle to make sure it is intact so you don't get sick. Most of our group on this trip got a stomach bug, and we all thought it was from water, especially the one that they used to wash the fruits and vegetables. India has a diverse population with people from different regions and beliefs. As a result, the dress code can vary across the country. It's best to dress modestly and respectfully in more conservative areas. Both men and women have to cover their shoulders and knees. This modest dressing is especially important when visiting religious sites. If you're a fashion lover, then don't miss out on Indian fashion scene. They have the most beautiful fabrics in the world with vibrant colors and unique patterns, so you won't get bored looking for fabrics in India. They are also super affordable, and you can even hire a tailor to make you a custom outfit in as little as a few hours. Bargaining is a way of life in India, and it is expected when shopping at local markets and street vendors. The initial price quoted is often higher than the actual cost, and going back and forth on the price is a normal part of transaction. In Indian culture, a red dot on the forehead, often referred to as bindi, is a significant symbol. The red color itself symbolizes love, prosperity, and welcome. The traditional Indian greeting is a slight bow with palms pressed together in front of the chest, and the words Namaste. Public display of affection such as hugging and kissing are not common in Indian culture. It is considered inappropriate to show intimate or romantic gestures in public. Visitors should be mindful and avoid any actions seen as offensive to prevent unwanted attention or misunderstandings. In India, you will rarely see men and women showing affection by holding hands publicly, but you will see men and men holding hands. Don't confuse them to being gay. It is a show of friendship and closeness. Arranged marriages are still prevalent in Indian culture, with families often playing a significant role in finding a suitable partner for their children. While this seems strange for those from cultures where love marriages are the norm, arranged marriages have a long-lasting tradition in India. For them, it is a practical way to find a life partner. In Indian culture, the bride's family bears most of the costs associated with the wedding. This custom may surprise those from cultures where both families contribute to the wedding expenses. It symbolizes the bride's family love and support for their daughter. Another thing that you might not realize when traveling to India with your partner or your husband is that some places are super religious, to the point that only couples who are married can have a hotel room together. You might even have to show your marriage certificate to be allowed to stay together in the same hotel room. Check the religious restrictions in each place you go and read the fine print before booking anything. In India, there are a lot of restrictions and strict rules for tourist sites, whether it is how to dress or what you can bring in, to photography or videography restrictions in the religious sites and places like Taj Mahal. Tripods, drones, and even purses or larger bags will not be allowed to some of these sites. Whether visiting places such as a temple, mosque, or grave sites, you will need to take your shoes off, and many places will also make you cover your knees and shoulders, similar to other Muslim countries. For a Western woman in India, it is a common practice for strangers to want to take pictures with foreigners or with a woman. So if you want to feel famous, just go to India. Just kidding, but it can sometimes feel that way. If you don't look Indian, people, mostly men, will come up to you and ask for a picture with you, or just stand next to you and start snapping away. The more you say yes, the more crowds start to form for more and more pictures, and truthfully, it can become a bit tiring. If you're in a place with a lot of people around, or this makes you feel uncomfortable, politely decline, but do keep in mind it's very common and not with bad intentions. If you want to attend Holi festival in India, you won't believe how many men are in the streets versus the amount of women. Many big events are male-dominated, which makes women really stand out in the crowd. Being a woman in India can be a little uncomfortable, especially coming from other parts of the world. Men can be grabby in India, and there are definitely boundaries often crossed that would hardly happen in the Western world. Thankfully, it did not happen to me personally, but it could also be because I was wearing long and conservative clothes every day. If you want to see my outfits, you can check out the video that I posted of what to bring with you to India that includes all of my outfits. You can find the link to my video in the description below. In the wintertime like December and January, India's climate is more tolerable. But in the summertime, it can be very challenging with 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees in the spring or the fall. When we visited last month in March, it was already hot and humid, so it was very refreshing to use the pools at the hotels. And make sure to bring neck fans or some kind of fans for yourself, because it is going to be really hot if you're traveling in the spring or summertime. The natives usually escape to the mountains during the hot season, and the ones who live in the United States, they only travel to India during the winter months, as I said, in November, December, or January, when the temperatures are much cooler. Besides dogs and cows roaming the streets, there are also a lot of monkeys everywhere. From climbing the forts to stealing food at train stations, you will find these little critters all over. The monkeys are adorable, but also can be dangerous, so make sure to watch out for your belongings, especially your food, and don't approach them catching them off guard. Not only are animals not cared for on the streets of India, but there is a high level of animal cruelty that has been normalized in this country. People talk a lot about the issues with elephants in Thailand, but people hardly mention that there are cities in India which are even worse, where tourists will actually ride the elephants. This is very harmful for their backs. So please do not support this type of awful animal tourism. Indians have a more relaxed approach to time, known as Indian Standard Stretchable Time. This approach means schedules are often fluid, and punctuality may not be strictly followed. Visitors should be prepared for delays and maintain patience while waiting for meetings or events to begin. I'm not sure this exactly classifies as culture shock in India, but one thing that truly blew our minds and affected our work schedules was the time difference. In India, they run their time difference on the half hour. So for example, if there is 10 hours and half an hour time difference from New York, meaning that when it was noon in New York, it was 10:30 p.m. in India. Having that half hour of a difference makes things really confusing, and it is something you only find in India. Another unique thing in India is chai. It is a major part of Indian culture. And forget your local cafe's chai latte. Authentic masala chai, made with milk and spices, is one of the best hot drinks you will ever indulge in. Chai means tea, and masala chai can be found all over the streets and public transit stations for extremely affordable prices, and often are even served in cute clay mugs that you can take with you. India is incredibly diverse, with over 1,600 languages spoken and multiple religions practiced. Each region offers unique traditions, foods, and experiences, meaning you can enjoy a wide variety of things in India without even leaving the country. India has 28 states and 8 union territories, which are governed independently. India has a rich history of royalty, with many states that existed prior to independence. While the system of kings and queens no longer exists in India, several royal families continue to maintain their legacy and heritage. These families often engage in tourism, social life, and other businesses to support their communities and maintain their traditional roles. In Delhi, you can find the Museum of Mahatma Gandhi, who was most famously known for his leadership of India's independence movement using nonviolent civil disobedience. He also championed social reform, particularly regarding poverty, caste discrimination, and religious tolerance. He was assassinated by Hindu nationalists due to his promotion of Hindu-Muslim unity. He was assassinated in his Birla house right here in New Delhi. He was shot while walking to a prayer meeting in the compound of the house. On this trip, we also visited one of the private schools in the remote villages. Despite efforts to ensure access to education, inequities persist. Children from marginal communities, remote areas, and economically disadvantaged backgrounds often face barriers to education. Many schools in India lack basic facilities such as classrooms, libraries, laboratories, and sanitation facilities. Bridging the infrastructure gap, especially in rural and remote areas, is crucial to provide a conducive learning environment for all students. In this tiny private school, they had over 300 students of all ages. And since the government was not able to provide schools or any kind of education in this area, a private organization with the help of donations from organizations like the travel agency we used was supporting the school with a very minimum fee to the students. Now we will be visiting the beautiful Taj Mahal located in Agra, India. Most tourist attractions open super early at the sunrise, so the earlier you go there, the better you are because there will be less crowds and not as hot. Taj Mahal is an ivory white marble tomb built by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his third wife, who died in 1631, giving birth to their 14th child. Construction began in 1632 and the mausoleum was completed by 1648, with the surrounding complex finished in 1653. The 42-acre complex is considered a masterpiece of Mughal architecture and a symbol of India's history. The emperor was reportedly so grief-stricken by his wife's death that he turned white-haired within months. Legend says that his wife extracted 4 promises from him before her death, including that he built the Taj Mahal. The emperor spent all of his money building the beautiful mausoleum. But then he wanted to build the black one across the river. But unfortunately, the money ran out. So after his death, he was buried right next to his wife's tomb in the white Taj Mahal. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Your support is extremely important to me, so please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave your comments below. Thank you, and I will see you soon.